everyone, I'm Jen and I'm going to show you today how you don't have to have fancy brush pens to do lettering. But if you do, I'll show you some tips on how to use those as well. So first, let's show you what lettering looks like with the Crayola marker. This is something that I learned from one of my friends when she showed me lettering, and I didn't even realize that you could use such basic tools, but it works. So check this out. If you're gonna write Crayola with this Crayola marker, all you have to do is utilize the angled edge and the tip and move the marker up and down to create the different strokes. Now it takes practice, of course, but you can get the lettering effect just by using the tool in the right way. And this is a lot of practice, I'm telling you. So in order to practice this, just do a bunch of downstrokes and upstrokes, and then practice the transition in between. And you can get a bunch of practice sheets as well that will help you go through these sorts of drills. And they even have examples of how to use it, and you can find other tutorial videos, and I'll keep making some as well. But all of this stuff can be done even with a basic marker that you find at Dollar Tree even. So then, say you just have a pen and you want to create this. Well, there's something called faux calligraphy, and it is pretty fantastic. So all you have to do is write out the word, but give a little bit of space with the letters. And let's write hello. So then you just go back down over the downstrokes, and then you fill that in. And the hardest part, honestly, is transitioning right here, this little transition. But with a lot of practice, and I use mostly brush pens, so mine's not going to be the greatest, but with a lot of practice, you can get the calligraphy look just by doing this. So when you're bored, taking notes in class, or you want to spice up something that you're writing, or you're using chalk, you can do this and get that fancy calligraphy look, and you don't even have to have the tools. Or you have the tools, you just don't have the tools that cost more money. So, voila! That right there is faux calligraphy. But say, for example, you want to use a pencil. Now this is even cooler for me. I like doing this a lot in the margins of my Bible and stuff like that. Things that I want to be able to erase or go back over. That's how I use the pencil. And then also in my sketchbook, when I'm practicing lettering, I use pencil a lot. So sometimes you just get the angle going. You just have to, write a little bit until it's, not that hard thin line, but the softer thick line. And then you can get calligraphy looking pencil writing just by pressing harder on the downstrokes. It is less dramatic, but you can again fill it in to make it look like calligraphy as well. But sometimes I find it fun just to use pencil because it's neat. And the more pressure you put on the downstroke and the less on the upstroke, the more dramatic it will look. So let me show you what it looks like with a real brush pen. This right here is a Tombow Fudenosuke hard nib, and you can find them on Amazon real cheap. I think I linked to them in my previous video. And as you can see, they have just a little angle nib right there, which makes it easier to do, lettering. So I'm gonna write Tombow. And again with these, the hardest part is the transition. I kind of messed up on the B here. But as you can see, you get that lettering look, and it's all in the way you hold the brush pen. So I like to hold mine like this, and then apply more pressure obviously on the downstroke. Here, you can see it better if I move my thumb. More pressure on the downstroke, and then I just kind of hardly use the tip for the upstroke. And this nib is dying, so let me show you with the soft nib what it looks like. This one is a little more exaggerated. As you can see, it just requires a little bit of practice and the right angle, but everyone holds their pen differently too, so you can practice different ways. You don't have to hold it right here on your ring finger, it could be on your middle finger. Sometimes that provides you more control, and so it's up to you. Either way, there are lots of fun tools out there, but I just wanted you to know that you don't have to have the fanciest or the most expensive items, but you can still do lettering no matter what. And then if you do have larger brush pens, so you can see here, that's much different from this right here. The larger the brush, the more flexible it will be, but it's also harder to control. So this right here is the Tombow dual brush pen, and I'm a big fan of theirs, but I also like a lot of different brush pens. I'm kind of a stationary pen pencil hoarder, so we're gonna move past that. But if you ever have any questions about how they work for me or what my favorites are, just let me know. Anyway, so let me show you what it looks like to write with this. Again, the tip has to barely touch for the upstrokes, and that's the hardest part, and they do make a fun noise. And then something that I like to do with the water-based markers is blending, so I thought I'd show you a quick example of that too, just because it's fun. So these are some Artline Sticks markers and a Pentel sign pen, and the Tombow dual brush pens are also water-based, so those are all fun to use. I'm going to write just hi. And then I'm gonna blend it for you. Happens when you have the other color on the marker tip. It kind of turns into this cool gradient, which is fun too. So if you wanted to, you can even take the darker color and use it on the lighter color and then write just like that. It gives a cool effect, and then it eventually washes out just when you use it, which is so cool and pretty mesmerizing too. Anyway, let me finish this up. Once again, feel free to leave any comments on questions that you have or your favorite tools. I was going to say pens or tools, and I said them both. And yeah, let me know how you like this, and if you have ideas for future videos. I'd love to hear them. All right, thanks everyone.